This episode of Comically Gaming is brought to you by Blockhead Printing. For all your custom nerdy shirt printing, cons, parties, or gaming clubs, this is a full-service, badass screen printing company. Check out blockheadprinting.com.
Nice. What up?
What's up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Comically Gaming, episode 56.
Welcome.
Busting through them here. Nate, how's Europe?
Europe is great. France was wonderful. We had perfect weather everywhere we went. I took the highway from Arles, France, to Ontivero, Italy, which is basically the coastal highway that goes right along all those little towns that you see on cliff sides with the Mediterranean off to our right. It's cool since I'm sitting in the other seat in the car. I sit in the right to drive, and it's a stick shift, but all the Mediterranean views right out my window there. Loving that. Yeah, totally stoked on it. Went to the Piaggio Museum in Italy on my way down here to Ontivero. Checked out some badass old Vespas. Yeah, it's been great. On to Rome tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Well,
Rome.
Well, I'm enjoying E3. You're missing out on a lot.
What happened? What's the biggest headline?
Metroid Switch.
Metroid Switch this Christmas?
Yeah, yes. This holiday season. Whole new game. You never saw it coming.
Wow.
You're wrong. We didn't. And
Dirk's
and Last of Us 2 out.
Last of Us 2.
11th.
Man, that sick Namor first-person game too is.
I did see, even over here in Italy, it was rough to hear that Ellie dies right in the first couple minutes of The Last of Us 2, and that they showed that.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be
too many spoilers as always.
All right, no more. Okay.
Anyways, we're filming this before E3.
E3's happening right now.
E3 is happening right now, but we're currently 2 weeks before that. Nate is in Europe, and so we're doing these a little beforehand. As always, I'm Corey.
Hey, I'm Nate.
I'm Dirk.
Yep. Dirk. And I wonder if the fact that we're knocking out all these shows in one night would mean that our quality of content goes down because we're just totally phoning it in at this point. We don't even care anymore.
I don't know, man. I think sometimes when you get into that zone, like after hour 3, and you just start,
that is
cutting loose.
I wasn't drinking before. I'm kicking it hop slam style for this episode.
That looks good.
Yeah, it's
We're about to be tanked. Drink a few of those.
Yeah, it's like European alcohol in these. So literally, you drink 3 and it feels like you drank 6, sort of thing.
We just got Bell's in the market here.
Yeah, we don't normally get them here. Normally Bell's doesn't distribute west of the Mississippi. And but this guy said, he goes, my distributor, sometimes he's got some, and I just buy everything they have, and so he had little 6-packs of cans of these. So
I think we have the Two-Hearted Ale and something else.
Yeah, Oberon is my favorite. That's their
we have Oberon
thing.
Yeah,
yep. It's really
Two-Hearted,
very tasty.
Best IPA on the market. Two-Hearted.
Nice.
Yeah, I probably would agree with that. I probably would. It's a little strong for me. This is too, but the extra alcohol is appealing to me.
That's the whole appeal of the Hop Slam, I feel.
Right. They used to do that Batch 3000. They still do that?
I don't know. I think maybe.
So Batch 3000, Dirk, they would, every 3,000 batches, they clean out the vats that they make the beer in, and they take all that stuff that's the sediment that's coating the bottom of the
residue,
and then they make a batch with that.
Oh, man.
It's like $20 a 6-pack when it comes out, but it's the most intense tasting beer you've ever put in your mouth. Like, I don't even know if it's necessarily a good thing, but it's like, every year when the one time that hits, you buy a 6-pack and just like, holy crap, this is the craziest stuff ever.
That is awesome.
That's been Comically Gaming Beer Talk.
Yeah.
Bell's Talk.
Bell's Talk.
We could totally have a whole hour on that too. But
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Sure. So, yeah, that's it. It's gonna be a little probably shorter, different kind of show since E3 is going on and we are pre-E3. Not gonna talk about video games because you won't care about
Last
us
week
talking
was all
about
video games.
old video games. Yeah, last week was all video games. This week we're gonna do talk about our favorite superheroes, and then we're gonna go into a little bit of Labyrinth Lifers, our Dungeons and Dragons group. So
Level 3.
Got the DM with us.
Level 3.
I'll break down season 1.
Season 1
Yeah,
started with a bang.
yeah.
By far the best level 1 adventure that I've ever been a part of.
It was great.
They're not normally that
It is
exciting.
the best
It's
one
the
I've
best
ever been
one
a part
Same here.
of.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So we'll get into it, I guess.
All right.
Follow us on everything. Subscribe, like.
That's right.
So yeah, who wants to start it off? Number 10.
Man.
So,
Number
what was the? We talked about it amongst each other,
Top
but
10.
maybe just tee up the criteria for the
Sorry.
crowd.
We've talked about our favorite comics before. It's hard talking about favorite comics because you have to go back to talk about certain runs and whatnot.
Potential spoilers.
But we're just gonna do our top 10, either favorite superheroes or teams, if you can't like. I know you said you had a few, like a specific run of a certain team.
Yes.
I go with. I like to pick the teams because, like, I feel like the team is what for the couple that I picked. The team makeup is what makes all the characters so great.
Sure.
So yeah, our top 10 favorite superheroes / teams, if necessary. Just to let you know.
All right. Start with number
All right.
10.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go first. My number 10 on this list. We'll go me, Dirk, Corey. If that works for you guys.
All right.
Around the horn. So my number 10 is today's Defenders. So the Defenders
The
team
four?
that's in Secret
Yeah.
Empire right now, and kind of the crossover a little bit with the Jessica Jones series that we've been reading as well. Really like that a lot. Really like those guys. I'll be honest with you. Other than Daredevil, I didn't know any of these guys before like 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, back when I was really into comics, they were not a thing for sure.
Yeah.
They were side stories, if nothing else. And just love the kind of human element that these stories have right now. You know, all these guys. Well, of course, Daredevil. You know, is his superpower even a superpower, or just really kind of super training himself to be able to recognize the other sensory input? You know, but definitely even these superheroes, you know, has basically kind of forsaken the Avengers and whatnot. You know what I mean? And they're just helping out the people that they come across in their day-to-day lives. Also, each of them have their own drama that makes their characters more real, and it's not like drama like is Superman dead or not sort of thing. It's more human drama.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's my number 10.
Very well
Today's
balanced
Defenders.
too.
Yep.
Those four sort of balance each other out so well.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Sure. I love them.
Ooh. I'll do number 10 as both a double between the character and the team that he's on. Number 10 for me is Jamie Madrox, a.k.a. Multiple Man.
Really?
And the team that he was on was X Factor, when Peter David and Jay Lee were doing a run in the early 90s. So that team had
Early
Havoc
90s, X Factor.
Yeah.
Okay.
That team had Havoc as its leader, Polaris, Guido.
So Greedo, the guy who
Wolfsbane?
shot Han first. Or no, Hanchop first?
Wolfsbane,
I'm sorry to interrupt. Or is it Guido, like as in a
like
derogatory
a
term for an
that
Italian?
one.
Okay.
Guido, yeah.
Okay.
His strongman was his name, I think, but he ended up just going by Guido. And I believe that's everybody. I think Quicksilver is also on that team. I don't know specifically why I was drawn to that. It might have had to do with Jay Lee, but they were just sort of like this alternative X title, and it was a lot earlier than anybody else was doing it. Like you had your like main teams back then, early '90s stuff. But this one it just felt so alternative and kind of weird and different. And Havoc was sort of like the anti-Cyclops. Like he was just like, go all out, fuck it, let's roll. You know, they were just a different team. And if you haven't read it, go back and read, because Peter David did the writing. Go back and read that early '90s X Factor stuff. It's surprisingly solid.
He did the more recent X Factor too back in.
Oh, really?
I don't know what year would it have been.
Yeah.
Probably 2010 or somewhere around there when I was reading it, and I really liked his stuff too. But
yeah, and Jamie Madrox always had weird shit going on with with all his multiple. I think at one point his multiples started dying. They actually possessed life, and somebody was killing them. I don't know what storyline that was, but yeah, there was always
Multiple Man. Does he like clone himself?
Yes.
Totally honest, I know nothing about Multiple Man.
I believe he taps himself like this, like he'll hit himself, and he can make another clone, and I think he can go up to like 50 at least.
They get weak. He gets like weaker the more that he makes, right? Or no?
I don't know. I don't know if they specified that. It gets really weird though, and dark and crazy with him.
Is he in anything today?
What's that?
Does he exist in anything today?
He was killed right before Inhumans versus X-Men, I believe.
Okay. Huh.
So I don't think he's alive right now.
Gotcha.
At the moment.
Yeah.
So,
Corey,
my
there
number
you go.
10, Batman.
Batman, number 10,
Nice.
huh?
Yep.
All right.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I'm around there too. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Batman is Batman. You know, I had to put him on here because I'm not even really a huge Batman fan. You know, rich Bruce Wayne. With all his toys and stuff, but I just the Batman universe is so awesome. He's so iconic. He had to go on the list. I love the Batman villains. They're all really cool. Like watching them. Can
I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
So I feel like if we have the same person on the list, let's just all talk about it the first time, and then we can bring it up the next time that it's on the list instead of talking about it each time. So I got Batman on my list as well. And I got to kind of disagree with you for just a little minute of a second in that for me, my whole life, I won't get totally political or weird about it, but if I'm honest with you, I'm a pacifist. I'm only going to get in a fight if it's like my boy is getting his ass whooped and I got to get in there to help him. That's the only time I'll ever be in a fight ever. I'm never going to instigate.
Have you ever been in a fight?
Kind of a bullshit one in basketball, and then I also was in, I don't know, a couple, which was that situation. My friend saying something stupid to somebody, and he's my friend, and I'm not really, I'm trying to break it up as much as I'm trying to help my buddy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I've never been in one. We're the same.
It's been ages. It happened a very long time ago.
Right. So anyways, my point being is that Batman is, to me, was the human character who wasn't like I was into the Punisher too, but the Punisher is like a mass murderer, and ultimately, I could never put myself in his shoes. There's nothing that's going to make me mad where I'm going to go murder people, or do I think that that's
Right.
even okay? So in a comics, way, whatever, I can read it and stuff. But I like Batman's kind of philosophy of he's not really even trying to hurt anybody. Sometimes he does
Yeah.
if he's trying to interrogate somebody or whatnot, or if he has to, he's not afraid to kick some ass. But that's never his plan or his intention. You know what I mean? He's trying to use his tricks to just diffuse the situation as quickly as possible. And the Detective Comic side of it too, I think is cool. Where then he's not even just the ass kicker; he's a detective.
That's
Yeah.
true. I do. I didn't even have him on my top 10, which is crazy.
No, it's cool.
To think about. But it's not that I don't love Batman. I guess he's so big in terms of it's like a universe more than a character.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I put him on my list. Like,
it's hard to express fandom for somebody that's that big.
Sure.
Because he's just had so many things happen to his personality over the years that you could almost split it up into which Batman do you like the most?
You could, for sure. Yeah, you could, for sure.
I mean, I like Arkham Asylum Batman because that was just crazy.
Sure.
But
Dark Knight,
absolutely.
The
Dark Knight.
Yeah, Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Yeah.
Like that's totally different.
All
than,
different.
Yeah.
Batman versus Dracula, Batman
Right.
Black and White. I mean, they're
Totally.
there are threads in between those, but you could. I mean, he's so big that you could sort of pick each one individually.
Yeah. I'd also just my one
and
last thing
so
I'd say
he's
about
been a lot of things have changed about Batman. And
Right. Yeah.
It's
just been
That's
so
what's-
long.
That's what's cool. That though is also cool because they give people such a kind of leeway on how to interpret the character. It made it so that like when we were playing the Batman Telltale game, you didn't really know which way they were going to go with it when they were starting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's part of the fun
Right.
of Batman is to see kind of who you're getting.
Yeah. Azrael.
Right. Totally. My one other thing I'll say about Batman, and then we can move on, is that Batman Year One and Dark Knight Returns and Killing Joke.
Mm-hmm.
Those three books are probably in like my top 10 favorite books.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Those are so good.
exactly. That's a great point because even though he's not necessarily in my top 10,
Right.
the graphic novels are almost untouchable, like canon at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's why
Biblical.
we're doing heroes and not books.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
But I mean, to me, that adds to it. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
totally,
Yeah.
Yep. For sure.
All right, number
All right.
9.
Number
Number
9.
9.
I've got the original TMNT. So,
Nice.
I'm talking
With the
about-
red?
Yes, when everybody's
Yes.
bandana was red. When that stopped was when they got corporate and sold out.
Yeah.
And those original books blew my mind in an age when I was like, let's say 13 or something, and my only
Usagi.
comic book experiences have been Marvel or DC stuff. Those original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles showed me how cool and crazy comics could get. Like, those were
Usagi.
nothing like Marvel or DC. And, just the fact that those went through, now today, it's crazy. A total different story and whatever. I'm happy that the creators got paid. So, whatever. Good for them. But
Your
those
lists are so much cooler than mine.
What's that? Our lists are
Yeah.
right. But the original, those original books were definitely excellent in a way that is hard to think of today. Like if something came out that was that different from everything else that we're reading today, it doesn't happen anymore.
I have a question for you. That Usagi Yojimbo character,
Yeah.
the rabbit ninja samurai, I mean, was he in that series originally, or was he a separate book and they crossed over?
I don't know the answer to that.
I want to say like the TMNT universe kind of like absorbed him into theirs. because
I
he
can
was
see
in
that
the
happening, but I
books.
don't know definitively.
Yeah,
You'll have to research that
just
and put it in the
curious.
comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and get some. I'm totally gonna get some.
I like your post-show fact-checking. I'm down with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, it shows that we do care about our mistakes, even though we're not going to
Oh,
stop the show
absolutely.
to correct it.
I love research.
Yeah, totally. All right, so yeah, that's my
Yeah.
number 9. What do you
Sweet.
got, Dirk?
Okay. Number 9 for me is Vision.
Really?
Vision was for a long time before the rise of the Avengers as like the best team. They used to not be the hottest team on the block.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Before that movie was made and before Iron Man was such a huge hit, like Avengers was kind of second rate compared to the X books, you know.
For sure.
But Vision always was like one of the few that kept me going back and kept me interested in that universe. I was a more the green and red Vision more than the white Vision.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was kind of a mind fuck, that whole, everything about him.
Sure.
The fact that he married a human woman, and then to double down on that Tom King series just like furthered that point for me, and that was so incredible. It took it in a different direction, but yeah, absolutely one of my favorites. And I think you can play. There's several games where you can play him in like Avengers-based old school games.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
What was the recent Vision series that everybody's liked so much? When did that
The Tom
start? Was
King
that like
Yeah, that was last 2 years, I guess.
seems like right.
Yeah.
Have you guys read that?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the Tom King one. It is absolutely, in the last 3 years, one of Marvel's best runs.
Yeah, that's what I keep
ever.
hearing.
Yeah,
Hands down.
I kind of fell off on it, but from what I read, I was really digging it. Yeah,
It
Just
seems
the
like that was
first
like when the
11
Hawkeye
issues.
books were cool too. It seems
Yeah.
like both of those were hot at the same time.
It was after that.
It was after
Yeah.
Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Was
the
it?
good Hawkeye books were. Like,
The only ones you need,
6,
Nate, are
7
1
years
through
ago.
11.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'll
1
have
through
to read
11.
them.
That's it.
My only input that I have on Vision, and this is not coming from a hardcore comic perspective, but our buddy Zach had always commented. I
Yes.
forget what it was. There was something on Facebook where he was like talking about how the Vision is one of his favorite characters because of Sweater Vision, and
Yes,
and we were talking
he's always
about,
wearing cardigans.
yeah, we were talking about Avengers 2 and how he's wearing a cardigan in that movie at some point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
or maybe it was Civil War where that happens. But
Yes, that's what it is.
It wasn't Avengers 2.
yeah, it was Civil War, and when he was trying to trap the what's her face, you know. But anyways, Zach had pointed out that he loved the Vision comics, and he had images from him of him and his family hanging out in the sweaters and stuff.
Yes.
And he said it's only like to have somebody who's that like cosmic and weird and out of it, just doing that normal day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Like, what does he do when
Well,
he's
look,
not fighting super villains?
That
and
new
stuff?
series is about that. He
Is it?
creates his own family.
Sure.
He
Yeah,
creates
that's
a
what it's
wife
about.
and kids, and they have to adjust to
Spoiler
life. I
alert.
think outside of DC. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Sure.
I mean, it's the premise.
Yeah.
So
It
they
is,
have to-
honestly.
they have to adjust to life with humans outside of DC. Like he's working with government
Yeah.
or whatever. And it goes horrifically awry.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah, I guess
just
I gotta read it for sure. But yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, what else? Who else does that? Nobody does that.
Right.
You know,
right.
it's crazy.
That's why he's number
Sure.
9.
All right.
Number 9, Daredevil for me.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I like
Some
me
old school
Daredevil.
Frank Miller.
Yeah, I mean we already talked a little bit of Daredevil with the Defenders, but yeah, I just like that. I just like that. He's blind. It's badass. He really doesn't have the superpowers,
Right.
And I like watching get his ass kicked. He gets his ass kicked more than any other superhero.
He does. He
Yeah.
definitely
And-
does.
Yeah.
And yet he still prevails. I mean, that's the coolest part about Daredevil. I feel like is
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It feels like why Fight Club was cool or whatever. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
portraying characters like that who get just the
Yeah.
shit kicked out of them and
Yeah, he
enjoy
doesn't have super strength or anything, and
Right.
he goes into fights that he should probably not.
For sure.
But he still does, and he
Mhm.
gets his ass fucking kicked. But
Great
you know,
villains, too.
usually still wins though. And
Did he?
yeah.
Let me ask you. I don't know if you, Corey, if you know this or Nate, but did he like sort of officially kick off Marvel's like street level comic universe? You know what I'm talking about? Like
Back in the day,
like-
or
yeah, like
Huh.
Not
you know, with
sure.
I don't know the
Punisher
answer.
and
Yeah, I don't know the answer.
like
I used to read Punisher books back in the late 80s, early 90s, and there was always
Mhm.
crossovers, but Spider-Man was a part of those a lot also.
Yeah,
And I
for
wouldn't
sure.
consider Spider-Man on that level.
no, it's not a
But-
vigilante.
Yeah.
But
You should tilt
yeah,
your camera up a
Daredevil's-
little bit, Dirk. Your shirt's awesome, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
it is awesome.
wait, 2.
But yeah, he's the superhero that gets his ass kicked more than any other superhero,
Yeah.
and he continues on. So
Yeah.
Daredevil.
As I was
I mean-
actually, honestly, he does go back to when I was into comics. He was one of the guys that I was totally into. Like I say, kind of
Yeah.
the crossovers, the other stuff that I was reading.
What's your
as well.
favorite uniform?
Jeez, I don't know. I don't know that I have one, to be honest.
Yeah.
I dig that yellow.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
yellow.
right.
Yeah,
I'm a
the
red
yellow.
guy. Then I prefer yellow or red for sure.
Yeah.
For
And now he's in black, I think, right?
Black. Yeah, I like the black.
Yeah.
And let's just come out and say it: the TV show's decent, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think in the history of comics on television, that'll end up being above average for
Yeah.
sure, instead of all the below average ones.
They
Sure.
kill off Foggy, I'll be a happy man.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Totally. No, it seems like we're getting more foggy, not less.
I don't know.
We'll see. All right.
He got better, but
What was that? That was your number 9 or your?
Yeah.
that was
Okay,
number
so
9.
On to me to number 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this will probably be my first one that'll be in multiple people's lists, I would assume, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Wolverine.
Nice.
Is
Yeah, I had him
number
at
8?
number 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You got Wolverine, Corey, or
Number 4 as well.
really? Okay. All
Wow.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, just one of the coolest. I don't know. Intellectual properties ever made. When you look
Mhm.
back at superheroes and
Cool.
stuff, his
Yeah.
kind of let's face it, he's got flat out superpowers that can put him competing with the toughest foes ever made.
Yeah.
Right.
But he
And then he's modified on top of
On
that.
top of
with
that,
the
right, yes.
Adamantium,
Yep,
unbreakable.
yeah, exactly.
You know, with
And-
the claws.
And
Canadian Clint Eastwood.
most of the time, he doesn't want a part of that shit.
Yeah.
He's just trying
Yeah.
to go be like a lumberjack someplace and have some beers after work and then go to bed.
Exactly.
And he always
Yeah.
gets dragged into this shit anyways,
He tries as hard as he can, but somebody always drags him in.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, exactly. And
Because you need him.
Yeah.
Because he's the bomb.
yeah, and
Yeah.
somebody who can have a totally brutal, like brute force
I mean-
attack, who also his heart's always in the right place. You know what I mean? Like no matter what he's doing, he's trying to make things better for the good guys and for the no names.
Yeah.
and
He will
whatever
kill
random
people, though,
around.
on top of
Although,
that.
yeah,
although
yeah,
he will
exactly.
kill people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely not afraid. And when he does it, it's brutal and nasty. If he's definitely an eye for an eye kind of guy.
He's one of the only
Yeah.
killers.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
not many killers. He's one of them.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
but also a great guy.
To piggyback
James.
that, Wolverine was one of the first things that got me seriously into comic books too. It was that run with Larry Hama writing, that it was just, you think of Wolverine being closer to what kids like now because of the personality and like the fighting, but that book where Larry Hama was writing was some straight up adult material.
Right.
Like went way over my head at the time. I could go back and read it now and probably understand it, but back then I was just like, what?
Sure. Sure.
I mean, it was
Totally.
very political. It was crazy. But absolutely, Wolverine's up there.
All right.
Sure.
That's my number 8. What do you got, Dirk?
Number 8 for me is Nightcrawler.
Nice.
Uh,
Bamf.
yeah, Banff. I mean, everybody
Banff.
knows that sound.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I just liked how. I mean, maybe he should have been lower because I don't feel like they fleshed out his story enough. But I like the idea that he looks like a demon,
Yeah.
but he's sort of got this like, he's very caring, sort of lovable, but he's Mystique's son, which is crazy.
Right.
Is he?
And that weird power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bamf.
And just the way he looks. I mean, whoever designed that character just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
where did they even come up with that?
Yeah, it's cool when they're not just men in tights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets so weird that it doesn't stick.
I mean,
you know
look
what
at his
mean? But-
feet.
yeah.
His
right.
feet. He's got 3 toes.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's short and sweet. I like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. For me, I got Black Widow, number 8.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
I think you're the first person to bring a woman in.
Yeah.
So congrats, Corey.
No, I don't
That's
think I have
right.
any women unless they're.
You
Oh.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So I did think of that aspect of it, kind of, but she's my favorite Marvel girl.
That book was awesome. The last one?
Yeah.
That is a limited run, but it was fantastic. I mean, it's just straight up spy stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I like about. Yeah, I mean that's what's cool about Black Widow. Very almost not even a superhero, even less so than Daredevil.
Right. Yeah.
She's just a straight up spy.
Right.
With and
She's
but that's
such
a,
Trained into
Right.
superhero.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
But that's what makes her cool. I mean, she's a spy. She was, raised by who? Red Skull. I don't know. She's who was she raised by? The Red Room.
Yes.
But
I don't
anyway,
know
she
if-
was a communist. She was brainwashed.
Fucking
and
man.
yeah, it's very similar to Bucky,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
but
Winter
cooler.
Soldier, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
her and Bucky are really on the same level, but she's a hot Black Widow chick, so she's cooler than Bucky, and
Yeah.
and but I just like what she brings to the table. She's different,
Yeah.
not a
pleasantly-
superhero, doing different stuff. She is another killer.
Yep.
And has kind of a salty attitude, and I like Black Widow. She's
Yeah.
cool.
Tough. My two kind of bits of input on Black Widow is tough to ever be able to trust her ever. You know what I
Right.
mean? And all these teams that she's a part of.
She's gonna do the right thing.
In the MCU at this point, I think she's close enough with the main characters that they trust her now.
Yeah.
But, just like I say, kind of when you've got that double spy stuff going on, you never really know where you stand. Also, has kind of broke the MCU by making it be that Bruce Banner would not stick with her.
Yeah.
If Black Widow is hitting on you, you don't just get in a spaceship and fly away,
Yeah, sure.
right? There's no,
Definitely not.
yeah. I can totally
Stay.
grasp people
You
brain
just spend the rest of your life with
that
her.
are destroyed by explosives, but if you're gonna go away from Black Widow instead of towards her when she's hitting on you, then it's totally unrealistic in my mind.
Right.
For sure, definitely.
That book was great. Whoever, if you haven't checked it out, get that. I mean,
Yeah,
anybody
really
else that's watching,
The recent
get
one,
that.
like in the
Yes,
past year,
the most
yeah,
recent
that's what I've
one.
heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listened to the Comixologist podcast a lot, and they were raving about it when it came out.
I need to
too.
start
Yeah.
listening to that.
It was awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
All right.
I love it. It's one of those style of books where it's just,
Action, right?
action.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
just
what I heard.
action. I think that some of them didn't even have any words, but yeah, great.
I'll have to
So-
check them out.
All right.
So my number 7 is, again, this goes back to my childhood and nostalgia, and these characters imprinting themselves on my mind more than maybe the actual storylines, because I don't even remember what the storylines were. What I remember was riding my bike around the lake and going to the whatever the store was for the Fredonia
Fredonia.
Market, and they had a little spinny rack of comics on there, and I would pick up the West Coast Avengers back in the late 80s and
Yeah,
early 90s.
they had the most ghetto comics there.
I was down, though. It was
Who was on that team?
So that they were led by Hawkeye at the time, and Iron Man was on the team. Moon Knight was on the team. That was my kind of
Nice.
start of exposure with Moon Knight, and then
Nice.
Tigress, and then a rotating cast outside of them. But
Tigra?
it was funny,
Tigra.
like, what's that?
Tigra.
Tigra. Yeah, sorry, wrong universe.
That's a river.
It was definitely to me, that was outside the X-Men. That was my only chance to see kind of crossover characters and whatnot with Marvel. And I've always been a fan of Iron Man. He was on that team, and so that kind of got me to pick up those books when I saw them. So yeah, late 80s, early 90s. Couldn't tell you who wrote them. Couldn't tell you a story from them, but
WCA.
the characters
I'll have
totally
to pick that up. Nice.
hit me hard. Yep.
What years?
Researching this, I went and Google imaged the covers and whatnot, and was just looking at them, remembering the books.
Oh,
fired
man.
up about it.
That's the best.
Yep.
What years were those?
Late 80s, early 90s. It's probably
Okay.
88 through 92.
88 to 92? Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit that up, man.
Yeah, totally. Totally. That's my number 7.
Because I don't have enough to read.
Right? Right. Totally.
Number 7,
All right.
I got Silver Surfer.
I gotta take a pee break.
Let's get through 7, Corey, then P.
All right.
You can do it. Yeah, all right. Power
Silver
through.
Surfer. I'll be short and sweet on this one. Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer's
Jim
awesome.
Starlin. Yes, Jim Starlin writing it. I don't even like. I'm not attracted to him as a hero because of his ideals or his motives or anything. It's the fact that he's fucking flying through space on a
A surfboard.
surfboard.
Right.
And that whole cast of characters that he brought in and was involved with, I love the Marvel space universe.
Yeah, totally.
So,
Totally.
I mean-
It sucks that Fox has him now, and he can't get in
I
there with
know.
the Guardians and everything.
I know.
Ugh. Yeah, totally.
Because he fit in perfectly.
Yep.
They
Yeah,
could make
I
such a
just-
badass movie about Silver Surfer and
I
Galactus.
know.
Fuck yes.
Even
He's
just about the two of them. They
Yeah.
could make the coolest movie.
Yeah.
He just,
Right.
I think he's
Right.
just like a sweet spot waiting to happen. And
Yeah,
they
you're
don't
right.
know the possibilities that they have.
Yeah, that
I mean, they
one movie
picked
was
Guardians of the
garbage.
Galaxy when they had Silver Surfer there. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
With you.
For sure.
With you.
Yeah.
The my only input on Silver Surfer was back in the day, in high school, I had a mullet. I was 14 years old, and I listened to Joe Satriani, and he had the
Yes,
Silver Surfer
Surfing with the
cover.
Alien.
Yeah, Surfing with the Alien. Yep.
Surfing with the Alien.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, that got me to go pick up some books, check them out. Yep.
You know
You're-
that's what he's listening to too when he's riding that board.
Totally. Cheesy.
Did you read any of the new Silver Surfer?
No, I have them all. They're sitting there just
They're
waiting
super
to go. Awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Super good. It's by the artist of the FF. That
I might start that tonight. Thank you for reminding
should.
me.
Totally.
really good.
All right.
All right.
Tea break.
Wait, you got to do
Pee
7.
break.
Oh, right. 7.
Should we just take a pee break? If you got to pee, I don't want to.
No, Guardians of the Galaxy.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Nice.
That's such a no-brainer. I didn't even think about that.
So
Yeah.
today's Guardians.
Yeah, today's Guardians.
That's,
I
that's
mean,
my
I
number
read.
6. That goes right over the
Okay.
next
That's
one. Yeah,
awesome.
Today's Guardians.
Dude, I totally slept
Yeah.
on that. Is there a better team out there?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
just-
know.
I don't think
their
there
team
is.
so good.
who
Yeah,
put that
and
together?
and it's I don't know. I mean, it was the same team back in when I was reading the Guardians. It was, I think it was 2010, 2011 maybe, but it was still the same Guardians team. And that was when I first started reading the Guardians, and I loved those books. And then the movie came out, and
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
So
that's
I don't know
when
if I
this team-
started it from #1, but
Yeah, it was with that Annihilation series.
Yeah, so I had never heard of the Guardians before the movie was announced. I'll come out and admit it. When that happened was right when Corey was hardcore into comics and trying to
Yeah.
get me to read them all the time, and I was like slowly getting back into it. And I picked up a couple of those Guardians runs, and I just remember those books. I enjoyed how overly complicated they were. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was almost like it reminded me of the missions were almost like A-Team episodes or something, where they would lay out like the whole plan in front of you, and then of course it wouldn't go right. You know what I mean? But it was like so much extra information, either just in their conversations or in the thing that really blew me away with the books. And then
The new one's great too.
Is it
the new book? Yeah, I
should
just
read it.
picked it up and read it.
Yeah. When is it started? How far in is it?
Issue 2. There's 2 issues out right
really?
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
add that to the rotation.
they
for
just
sure.
got off of Earth and they're back
Okay.
in space. So
All right. Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah,
As Baby
the
Groot.
team chemistry with the Guardians is so good. I mean,
I think in terms of a team, they're almost unmatched. Just in
Yeah.
like
really,
because you
I
don't
mean,
really
Rocket,
think of
Groot,
everybody individually.
I'd love the ridiculousness factor. The fact
Yeah.
that
Well, yeah,
Rocket
sure.
doesn't think he's a raccoon.
And he gets pissed off when people tell him.
Yeah.
He is right. And the fact that Groot is a tree that
Yeah.
can't talk, like.
But
You know
still,
what I mean?
they're
Like-
so awesome.
Yeah,
like,
but
and
they're
great
so
characters.
awesome. Yeah, right.
Dude,
and the fact
believe
that
it
how
or
they
not-
carried over to the films and stuff is just unbelievable. That they're truly getting as wacky as they can, and the
Yep.
whole world buys it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like my buddy who sits
Right.
across from me at work, he is not a nerd under no circumstances. On his
Right.
weekends, he's going out and like 4-wheeling and hunting and stuff.
fishing. Right.
Yeah, right. But he's down with the
Fishing.
Guardians. When he went and saw Guardians 2, he wants to hit me up right away when I get to
Yep.
work the next day and talk about
They're-
how down
they're
he is with
very-
the Guardians.
Personable. They're just like likable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Everybody likes them. My wife likes
So
them.
good.
Totally.
Everybody.
All right.
So good.
Also, one more footnote to that, real quick. The Rocket book that just started is actually amazing. Al Ewing is writing it, and you
Oh,
would
yeah.
not think that a book about Rocket would be as good as that book is. I just read issue 1, and it was fantastic.
Now we got to read
Yeah,
Guardians and Rocket?
Yeah. I was.
I would read
Rocket
when
more
it
than
grew,
Guardians.
and that book wasn't that great. I was reading that. I don't know. It was
It's
alright.
done in like a crime style sort of heist.
Rocket is or Baby Groot?
Yeah, Rocket.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha. All right, let's go pee.
Right.
All right.
All right. All right, so moving on. Number 6, like we said, my number 6 carries over with Corey's number 7, Guardians. On to Dirk.
All right. Sweet. My number 6 is Jean Grey, Phoenix. The Phoenix
Nice.
version of Jean Grey.
Nice.
That was such a just. I know that that's not necessarily a heroic act what happened to her in that, but that character itself and in the context of everything in the Dark Phoenix and what led up to the Dark Phoenix saga, she was such a badass
Okay.
back then.
Can you
Too
summarize
powerful.
it in under 3 minutes? Like, I don't know anything about it except for
You
what
never read
happened
Dark
in-
Phoenix?
No, in just what happened in that last movie, and that didn't explain anything.
Okay.
So, like I say, as minimal as possible. Summarize.
Okay.
I want to know.
She was possessed by an alien life force called the Phoenix. She was already a powerful mutant. When this alien inhabited her body, she became so powerful that it drove her insane, basically. And the X-Men had to kill her.
And-
when they...
Was that also the end of X-Men 3? Was that the same?
It was an altered version of X-Men 2. That's how it ended. X-Men 2 It's her holding the dam closed
Okay, gotcha,
and lifting
gotcha,
the ship, the Blackbird, I think, out of
Right.
the, and she can't hold both, and the
But
the
like
waters
Wolverine
of it.
killed her at the end of 3, right?
Yeah, I don't remember 3.
Okay, all right, never mind then. All right,
I know the. Yeah, I try to black that one out of my memory, but
Sure.
I do. Yeah, the second one was a play on Dark Phoenix. I mean, you see the Phoenix in the water or whatever at the end,
right.
but yeah, I think. Yeah, it's one of those books that it's very dated. Don't expect like great
Sure.
dialogue when you go back and read it, but in terms of what it does and the storyline and what happens, it's just like superhero comics hadn't experienced that yet before that story came along.
Right.
It's just super dramatic and intense
Force that you can't
and crazy.
fight against.
Yeah.
Sure.
And she hasn't been that badass since.
How'd they kill her?
That was. How did they kill her?
Sound off in the comments.
Yeah, they're gonna kill me on that one.
What do you got?
Yeah.
Well, none of us know it, so yeah, whatever.
Dude,
It is what
it's
it
been
is.
so long since I read it, so
It is what it is. People either like our charming attitudes or don't. They're not
don't
coming
kill
here.
me, fans. Don't
Yeah,
kill me.
They're not coming here for researching stuff.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I know it's a major storyline. I'm drawing a blank on it. I think I'm getting it mixed up with the movie. Believe it or not,
Sure,
it's
sure,
terrible.
Totally. So what's your number 6, Corey?
Number 6, I've got to give it up to the mother of all female superheroes, Wonder Woman.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Great
I'm surprised
choice.
with that.
Yeah, I mean, just because, she was kind of the first female, the biggest female badass. I like the Wonder Woman books. I like her backstory. She's hot. And she's Wonder Woman. And,
Sure.
And it's, she's cool. She's cooler than Superman.
She is cooler than Superman, for sure.
Yeah.
So
She's,
who's
one
her
of the
dad?
original
Who's her
Justice
dad?
League. Zeus?
Is it Zeus? Do you know, Dirk?
What's that?
Who's Wonder Woman's dad?
I would assume it was Zeus.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was Zeus.
All right. I don't know.
Do you know for sure? Is that another research?
I know that it's a god.
I think it was Zeus.
Research it just to make sure. So yeah, people
Okay.
won't kill us. But I knew it was a god, but I didn't know. Is a god in the Amazon, right?
Yeah, God and Amazon.
Right.
Ah, okay.
So
Half
can
and
she
half.
does anybody have any idea? This is one question I've always also had about Wonder Woman is does she fly because her dad's a god, or is there some other reason why she flies?
It's one of her powers.
She's a demigod. If she's the child of a god, that makes her a demigod.
Is that
Just
why she flies? Like
It's gotta
I
be.
don't know Wonder Woman's flight origin.
It has to be.
Okay.
It has to be, right?
All right.
I would assume.
Who knows how
I was
powerful
always
she
curious.
is? I bet
She
she
has an
doesn't
invisible
even know.
jet.
She
Right.
does.
Right. Yes, I can't wait to see that in the movie.
Is she invisible inside of that, I'm assuming?
No, she
she
wasn't. She was always you saw her sitting.
You just see her?
there.
Bizarre.
But
That's the
Zeus is her father, yes.
Zeus. Okay. All right. Thank
So
you.
that's
Confirming that right now.
right.
Hippolyta is
Yeah.
her mom.
So I'm
yeah,
curious.
I
so
gotta
this,
give it.
I'm sorry. This show's
Go
gonna
ahead.
come out 2 weeks after the movie. Now, so we've already seen it, but I'm curious how you could make me a lot more interested in that story. The more Zeus is involved in it, the more interested I am.
Right?
To be honest, and I feel like he won't be at all. I feel like they're just gonna, like her mom's gonna have like some.
Doesn't seem like he's
sentence
gonna
that
be in it,
talks
yeah.
about him, and then that'll be the full extent of it. But like
Yeah.
that's what I liked about
Could
the new
be.
Superman was how they showed so much Krypton at the beginning
Uh-huh.
of it and how alien it looked and stuff. Like to me, I really dug that, and so I hope
Yeah.
they do the same thing with Wonder Woman. And the more Zeus included in that movie, the more fired up I am for sure.
For sure.
I'm down with that. I think mythology in general include more of it. You know?
Yeah, totally. That's why I liked Thor 2 so much.
Yep.
I thought they did it perfect.
So yeah, Wonder Woman. I give it up to her. I was trying to think of because in general, I really
She's like
I really
top three.
like female superheroes. I love
Also,
reading books about
yes.
female superheroes, and I was trying to
You're
think of
always
my
female
favorite
characters in
one.
games.
Yeah, I'm always female
Yep.
characters in games, and I was trying to think of like the coolest female character, and then that's been around for a while, and really, I mean, it comes down to Wonder Woman.
I will say
she's
this
so
also: she's not overtly sexualized like a lot of feminine, like female superheroes are.
I'm sure
like she's never been
before,
sexual.
but she's
Well,
not
I mean,
in general.
yeah,
Yep.
but in general,
agree.
no. I mean, which is great. It's refreshing. Like, I don't need the boobs and everything else.
I
For
still think Gal Gadot is the wrong pick.
Yeah, I'm really not that
she's
into Gal Gadot.
She's too small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know they
She's
should have
too
got
small.
somebody stronger.
It's not as much
bigger.
as good as she may be at everything else. Wonder Woman is an Amazon god.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's gonna be a little thick.
Yeah.
Need the body of like Captain Phasma.
Yeah, I mean, look at those
Yes.
sides.
There you go.
They're thick.
Yeah.
Thick,
Yeah. For sure. All right. So, what are we on? 5? Moving
We
to
are
5?
on 6. Oh, you're going to 5, yeah.
Corey just did 6, right? Your 6 was Wonder
Yeah.
Woman?
Yeah.
So my 5 is again, I'm sorry, these are the Fredonia grocery days. the 80s and 90s Uncanny X-Men.
Yes.
To me, those were the days when the X-Men were on top of the Marvel Universe. It was before the movies took over. Of course, that's the everybody talks about how Disney's not telling Marvel not to make X-Men very good because they don't own them anymore, sort of thing. This is the day when none of that shit took place. None of that was going on. Everybody was in the
They
Marvel
still focus a lot on
universe.
X-Men.
I know they do.
Fantastic Four's got the shaft.
I agree 100% with all that.
Was that
But X-Men were the top of it had to be one of their best 1, 2, 3 top selling books at the time, and yeah, it was awesome. It was great.
Wait, that was that was Executioner's Song, and then way more Age of
than us.
Apocalypse, I think.
Age of Apocalypse was at the very tail end of what I was reading. Do you ever read the Brood stuff?
Yes.
Like that was dead center in the middle of when I was reading Uncanny X-Men.
I'm trying to think of who that team was. It was like Psylocke, Rogue.
It was
Storm.
Psylocke, Rogue, Wolverine, Cyclops, Colossus, Professor
That's like the
X.
most iconic X-Men team. I mean, that's just like
right. Yep,
top
totally
of the
was.
line.
Totally
Yeah.
was. So yeah, that when I was a young lad, that was my jam for sure.
Absolutely,
It's the Uncanny
man.
X-Men.
That's hot shit. Oh,
Yep.
Forge was in that team at one point.
If he was, I don't remember him, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, he didn't really do anything except the lab work.
Sure.
But
That's what he does.
Yep, that's what he does.
he's hooking up with Storm.
All right,
No, that's
Dirk,
sweet, dude. I love that lineup.
what do you got for number 5?
I think we picked my number 5 already, right?
Nope.
No, we picked your number 4.
Number 6. What's your number 5?
I think I had. Oh. Wait. 1, 2, 3. She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice.
She's my favorite female superhero.
I love She-Hulk, too.
I love She-Hulk. And, no, I just like that she's a lawyer by day.
Right.
You know, and then she's like the embodiment of both physical and intellectual female strength. I love it.
Totally.
I love the fact that she's just like...
I usually like petite girls, but She-Hulk is hot.
Man, perfect.
She's one of the differences.
I love the
she
Amazonian
is.
body type, like big,
Oh,
like
she's beast.
stronger women, and she's amazing. And the new book is actually really good. She's she was in that coma. Oh, spoiler alert! She was in that coma after Civil War II, that she came out of,
Now
And-
she's the Hulk, right?
Yeah, it's just called Hulk. It's her book, and she's dealing with the repercussions of like Bruce. Spoiler alert: Bruce dying, and she kind of lost it a little bit. She's trying to get back to normal life, but it's rough.
I should read that.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
I'm just down with my input on that is like, again, I just love the doubling down on the more ridiculous, fantastical story you can tell. The fact that she's She-Hulk and she's a lawyer is totally the coolest thing ever.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It is.
Yeah.
She-Hulk's great.
Totally.
And a
Right.
good
Dig it.
and a good prequel to my number 5,
What you got?
the Hulk,
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Bruce
That's-
Banner.
Well, that's my number 1. So I don't know. how-
Oh,
Number 1, huh? Wow.
That's my number
okay.
1.
Yeah, let's.
I'm a
Let's
Hulk
talk it
fan.
out.
I'm a Hulk fanatic, man.
well, the Hulk is awesome. I mean, we talk about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You got Bruce Banner, and
Yeah.
you got the Hulk, and they're both awesome. The coolest thing about the Hulk is, most superheroes are useless in their human form, but Bruce is not.
Yeah.
Right.
Half the time they want to keep him not being the Hulk, and he's trying to not be the Hulk so he can help the superheroes, even
Yeah.
though his Hulk form is his superhero form. And when he does become the Hulk, he's, it's him versus Thor as far as the most
Strength.
powerful
Yeah, right.
superheroes in the universe. I mean, and he's awesome. I mean,
And he gets stronger as he gets angrier, which
more
is
pissed off. Yeah.
Do you think?
Brilliant.
Do you think Luke Cage can stand in the ring with the Hulk? Like, does
No.
his bulletproof skin
no, I don't
Luke?
think so.
No.
just gets? Does its bones just break underneath the skin if the Hulk punches him?
Luke
of thing.
would,
I think
yeah, he would get,
you would be able to ball him up. Yeah.
get
Sure.
wrecked.
Sure. Okay. I'm just,
He would get
just
wrecked.
curious. Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, there's a. You've seen the clip of Superman versus Hulk, that CGI reenactment.
Yeah.
Somebody made like a fight between them. It's actually pretty good to watch. But
Yeah.
I haven't.
I saw it.
I
It's
just
good.
fucking love the Hulk, man. I love that it's just like pure anger. It is just.
Yep.
It's sort of like it's a little
I like it.
sadistic in watching somebody sort of lose his mind with fury.
He's even said he tried to shoot himself in the head as the Hulk, and he spit out the bullet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
The
And he hates when he's the Hulk, but he's such a badass when he's the Hulk.
Right.
Like, so-
It's
Just-
weird, Hulk through the ages. So, like, when I was a kid watching those old TV shows that were crazy, loved
Lou.
loved watching the end of that. When the credits are rolling, it's just the sad music with him walking
Yeah.
away. Like, there was nothing weird like that. Like, that's so weird in like 70s/80s.
Right.
That I totally
let's-
remember those. Go ahead.
I don't know if y'all like that show used to freak me out a little bit. Like
it?
when he
Yeah.
would turn into I'd get a little scared for a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
like that
parts of-
show.
Parts of the Hulk there are times when he's barely a hero. He's really just an
Yeah, totally.
animal
Yep, for sure.
that,
sure.
that's being kept in check somehow.
And,
And- And times that he wasn't kept in check.
That's how they use him sometimes too.
yeah,
Like,
Corey
yeah,
Cross
that's
talked about there was like a series of books where he was just like a bomb. You would just drop him in an
Yeah.
area and just let him destroy everything, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
that's
And
the
I
cool.
mean-
Yeah, sometimes he's semi-conscious in the books, sometimes he's not. Like,
Right.
that's just kind of iffy about the Hulk. Like, given to the writer, they can choose whether just to
Yeah.
make him.
Planet Hulk's one of the best
thing.
superhero graphic novels, I think.
Yeah, I never read
It's
it.
up
I need
there.
to. I should
Oh,
before I go watch Thor. Everybody acts like there's
Yes.
parts of it in that. The
especially with all the D&D stuff. It's
yeah, totally. So yeah, there's also, I would just say to me, I really liked, and most people hate it, but the Ang Lee movie.
I didn't think it was bad.
I liked the way that they showed him jumping, the
Mhm.
running, jumping, flying.
Yes.
That was great.
That's
I just thought
huge.
yeah,
That's part of Hulk.
yeah,
is
they
the
did it
jumping.
perfect. Yeah, they did it really perfect, and
And the clap.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
The clap.
clap.
Yep, yep. Of course, it's just they always kind of screw up that like moment where like the Hulk is trying to calm down and stuff. Like it's always
Yeah.
in the movies, it's always terrible, no matter whether it's
Right.
Black Widow or some random stranger. Once he starts like giving them the, like I'm sorry Hulk eyes, it's
Yeah.
stupid every time.
Yeah, it
But,
is.
But and then the Avengers, like it's crazy. Like they took him from a character that the movies were not doing well to being like everybody's favorite character in those movies. Like in Avengers 1, he was awesome in Avengers 1.
Yeah.
Just like
Oh, yeah.
we don't
Oh,
need
that
any
thing.
backstory. We don't need any, we understand it's gamma rays. He's the Hulk.
Right.
We don't need his backstory. Just have him go crazy against aliens.
Yeah.
You know what
well,
I mean?
against
And,
Loki too, when he wipes the floor with Loki.
yeah,
That's
right.
brilliant.
Right.
That was the highlight.
Yeah, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. So he really, I hope they give him his whole own movie ASAP. It's not even
Yeah.
announced on the horizon.
Yeah, it's not announced. I feel like it's not
No.
going to happen.
And-
I feel
and-
like they've failed at Hulk movies for so long. They're like, we shouldn't
They're
do
kind
one.
of giving up.
But
Right.
they should.
As of Avengers 1, that changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's been good ever since the first Avengers.
I think and they would have to obviously use some wizardry in the studio, but I think the CGI route might be too explored and done with Hulk.
Sure.
It's time to use like some puppetry and be clever about it, or
Yeah.
do something else.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Do what Star Wars is doing nowadays, but with the Hulk.
CGI thing makes it sort of, I don't know, weird, but
Yeah.
absolutely my favorite. Yeah.
All right, Corey.
Wasn't that me who said the Hulk?
Yeah. So it's you, Nate.
What was that? That was your number 5.
That was
Yeah.
that was
Okay.
his number 4.
So
and
number
that was
4.
my
Number 4
one.
will
Wait.
skip me. My number 4 is Batman.
Okay.
Yep. So he definitely without.
Both of our number 4 is Wolverine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. My
Batman,
number 4.
Wolverine,
Wolverine.
Wolverine. So we'll go around the horn there. So then back to number 3, right? So nobody's said it
correct.
yet. If neither of you have this as in your top 3, I'll be surprised. I figure one of you is going to have it, but I don't know for sure that somebody does. But my number 3 is Spidey. You guys got
Okay.
Spidey?
I got Spidey, yeah.
Do you? Do you got him, Dirk?
Yeah.
I don't.
No?
And
He's
I
at
don't know
number
why.
3.
Yeah. To me,
He's probably number 11 for me.
to me, like
He's
I
number
almost-
1 for me.
Is he?
Yeah.
Number 1? Yeah, I almost put him as number 1. I had him there a couple times and took him away. But yeah, just whatever. The whole fact that what happened to him was an accident and how he embraces it, and then the wisecracking side of the
Mhm.
character
Yeah.
back from day one. You know what I mean?
Pre
He just-
Deadpool. Yeah.
Yeah, pre Deadpool. Yeah, right. Exactly.
His
You know.
struggles with dealing with life and still being Spider-Man and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Whether
Yeah.
whether it's with his family or school or whatever it is, yeah, definitely. Nobody else is like that. Everybody else is just a superhero or a totally millionaire playboy,
Yeah.
and they're
And then when he is the superhero, he's such a fucking cool superhero. With his
Totally.
web shooters
Yes.
and all the fucking shit he does. Like, Spider-Man is the bomb.
yep.
Great.
And he's
Great-
like the underdog, you know?
Great villains also.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome
I
villains.
think he's second to Batman for villains.
yeah.
for sure.
He just got a slew of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Craven. Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of
Or
Mysterio.
Craven S.
To me, it was Mysterio.
Mm.
Yeah. Mysterio.
I forgot about Mysterio.
Yeah, I want to see him
Yeah.
in the movies.
Morbius. I mean, obviously Venom. You know,
Electro.
Rhino, Sandman.
Electro. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
the awesome stuff.
Yeah,
so,
Sandman. Yeah, he's got everybody.
So Corey's
He's got
number 1.
a
My
whole
number
group
3.
of supervillains that hate him.
Yeah, right.
Not many
right,
people have that.
And it's funny that like he doesn't pay them any notice. Like I feel like Batman is like constantly down in his cave
Right,
researching the
focused on 'em.
superheroes, or the supervillains, trying to figure out their weaknesses so he can beat them. Like Peter's just going to school and then getting off class and
got-
running into
yeah.
them in the streets. You know?
Yeah.
He's got too much on his plate. He
Yeah.
can't focus on the villains like that.
Yeah. Yep.
What's he like?
I mean, Mary Jane was a handful back in the day.
And she's hot as hell. Yeah, he's got the hottest girlfriends.
Hottest
Yes.
girlfriend.
Mary Jane's and Gwen Stacy. You kidding
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's weird that he's successful now, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like
But
in
I
Marvel,
don't-
he's got his own industry or his company.
Oh, that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Parker
yeah.
Industries. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
I don't
not
know
a
what I think
huge
about
fan
that.
of the
Right.
new Spider-Man. I mean, I
Yeah.
love Spider-Man, but yeah, the whole Peter Parker thing and Peter Parker.
It is a little weird.
Industries, yeah, don't put him on Tony's level.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
100%.
That's what it feels like.
I think
Totally
everything
feels
that we
like.
just talked about is the fact that he's so carefree and just a kid. When he's at his best, makes it so that the whole businessman side of it doesn't fit. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like,
I appreciate that they're
Yeah.
trying to age him to show
Sure.
some progression.
Well, they are,
Right.
but they're aging him too fast. Where's his middle years?
Right.
Went from high schooler to business owner, multi-billion-dollar business owner.
Yeah.
Like,
I
what
just
the
don't
fuck?
like his adult persona
sure.
as
I
much. You know.
Yep.
I think if they did something different with him, I'd like him. But I don't like this specific thing about him.
I
Yeah.
agree 100%, but the character's so strong that I'm
Well,
totally
and-
cool with
Oh,
him
absolutely.
being close
Yeah.
number one. It's
Yeah.
He's probably
it's
one of
cool.
the best characters to draw. To be honest.
Sure.
I always loved.
I don't read the current Spider-Man, and I don't plan on reading it but he's still my number one, and I love Spider-Man. I just don't really like the current run.
I
in
thought we were
comics.
going to read the new Peter Parker stuff.
Oh yeah, the clone conspiracy,
No, the
or what is it? What's
number
the new
one
one?
just came out.
Spider-Man?
Was Peter Parker. It's called Peter Parker: The Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, we read
Huh.
that. I'm just not super down with the Amazing Spider-Man currently. Just
Do y'all
this
prefer
whole-
the narrower eyes or the big eyes?
Big eyes.
Yeah, I'm a big eyes guy.
Yeah, big eyes for sure.
I want them big, and I want them inexplicably making like facial expressions.
Sure. Sure.
Because there's no way for them to do that. But
Okay,
I do love
Dirk,
that.
What do you got?
All right, number two.
Number three.
I really
Three.
well. Oh, number
three.
three.
Yep.
Yeah, number three. I feel weird saying this, but I kind of have to go with him because I want to see
Good.
him done well. Gambit. I like
Nice.
Gambit.
Of course,
Gambit. Yes.
I should know.
the Creole.
Gambit,
Going
yes.
for the Creole.
Cajun. Just having a Cajun superhero for such a narrow.
Segment of society. Yep. Yep.
Yes, very
Sure.
narrow segment of society. He's done horribly, but
Yeah.
he was still.
Nobody likes Gambit.
He was still a Cajun superhero, which was amazing to me
Yeah.
just to have as a represent.
No, I
just
like
wish,
Gambit.
I wish they would get somebody Cajun to
To
write
play
it,
him, right? Oh, to write him. Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah.
because you do not wear a leather jacket with armor, a
Yeah.
trench coat in New
In
Orleans,
Louisiana, yeah.
right, with
Yeah,
a bow
You'd be
stick,
dying.
you know. And he was weirdly like from the French Quarter, but he was. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff.
He got to
That's-
hook up with
Rogue.
Rogue.
Yeah.
That's
No, he
that's
had
mad props there.
yes, and he had moments. He was like one of the few guys that wasn't afraid of Wolverine, and he would take him on. You know,
Sure.
that basketball game where he charges the basketball up and throws it at him. That's amazing.
Right.
He's fallen
Like,
off
all
recently too. It sucks. He was a lot bigger, like I feel like in the '90s and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah, he
he's-
was. Well, maybe what's his
not.
name? Bring him back. Oh,
Yeah.
That's gonna
he's
be
the, he's the
yeah.
cover of. I just got this number 4.
yeah.
and gold.
Number 4 of Gold.
Oh, look at him.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I haven't read it yet. I probably won't until I get back.
So are you
I think-
reading gold now?
I'm
that
gonna.
when I should
I mean,
start
they're sending
reading?
them to my house. Why wouldn't I read them? You know.
You're not gonna cancel it.
No, I don't cancel shit. I just let subscriptions run out.
Who's getting better reviews, blue or gold?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I want to read both. I'm an idiot. Yeah. it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Well,
All right,
yeah, that was me, Gambit. I did Gambit.
that was 3 for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised he's not number 1 now that that passion that you explained about why he's your number 3. Corey.
Well, No, there's just not enough. Like Marvel needs to give me more.
I agree. Yeah, right.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Number
Corey?
3.
2. No, 3. 3. 3. 3.
Three.
We didn't do 3
Three.
yet. I'm sorry.
Number 3.
I'm sorry. I started off.
Tony Stark.
Nice.
Iron Man.
So that works into my number 2 as we go around.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Iron Man, especially the current non-alcoholic Iron Man excluded. I love the drinking, partying Iron Man. He's awesome. I mean,
When I got into
Just-
Iron Man when I was a teenager, like he was not drinking, partying at all. Like that
Right.
side of him was like rich, straight businessman. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
when I started reading him, he was drinking hard
Right.
and
He's
having a good time. And,
in the last like 15 years, he's been a part of every huge thing that's happened at Marvel,
Yeah.
film and books.
Yeah.
yeah, he's way cooler than Batman. But
Yes.
just Iron Man is awesome.
I agree.
Obviously,
Cooler than
Nate-
Batman. Yeah, I have Batman 4, Iron Man 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's rich dude, builds his suit, and obviously Tony Stark has no superpowers, but
he
he's
can fly.
one of the most badass.
Technologically, yeah.
Once he is Iron Man, he's one of the most badass out there, and
all those
just,
suits.
Just as I mean, he hates himself, and he just deals with a lot of stuff internally, but he tends to just play it off like everything's good, and still fucking leads everyone, and just his whole personality, the way he can become a Hulkbuster if he wants
Hulkbuster,
to.
yep. That suit. Who else has a specific suit that is that popular?
But the thing he has that's not like Bruce, I guess, I don't know. I mean, Tony Stark is deep. He has, I mean, he
Bruce
acts
is
all
empty
cocky and
as-
shit.
Yeah, Bruce is empty. Batman's
Yeah.
everything. Whereas the other two, Tony Stark exists independently of Iron Man as a great character.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep, for sure.
I don't think Bruce Wayne holds up that well. I mean, personally. It's all
neither.
Batman.
He was my number 10.
It's cool to
He's
have,
lucky to get that.
Yeah, it's cool to have people that are, just headstrong like him. You know what I mean? To be
Yeah.
honest, like
That's right. He questions himself internally and stuff,
Right,
but when it comes to talking to people,
Right.
he
right.
doesn't.
He's a
Yep.
gambler.
Yeah.
He gambles all the time.
Yeah. And he's
And spoilers,
Pepper's hot.
What if
Pep-
the way your internet just flaked out and made that the perfect sentence of all time? Because I was going to talk about Pepper is probably the hottest woman in Marvel, in my opinion, to be honest. But, Dirk, you said spoilers, and then whatever you said next did not come through.
Oh, I said currently he's he's in a cryogenic
He's
chamber
down,
or whatever.
Yeah, he's down
Yeah.
for the count currently. Right.
Yeah.
And he's got an AI. Yeah.
Yeah.
What came across
AI
from my
Tony.
end, which is what's going to get recorded, is spoilers. Pepper's hot. Like that was.
That's what I got, too.
That was the sentence.
That's awesome. Keep it, please.
Yep, totally.
That is sweet.
All right, so Corey's number 3 and my number 2 is Iron Man. Dirk, what's your
Yes.
number 2?
Oh,
you
are
not
we
have
back?
Iron Man? Is Iron Man that in yours?
No.
No, okay. All right. What do you got? Who's your number 2?
Look, he probably would be, but
Are we
this
filming?
is like immediately who came to mind
Right,
when I was
totally.
writing. I had no time to revisit.
Right.
It's like first people. I had Adam Warlock on here, and I had to scratch him out.
That's awesome.
Number 2 for me is Ghost Rider.
Nice.
Because that's what got me into comics was Ghost
Yeah,
Rider.
no hero. Just kidding.
No, I think it's insane that Marvel even green-lighted this.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
I just doesn't.
Totally.
It's so far off from anything else. I mean, it was just like it felt like real satanic to me, and I totally dug that. It was just like I fucking love it. It's just a shame that like they can't get it right. Like
For sure.
Yeah.
they can't get the movies right to save their lives.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, as
It just-
I was
Yeah,
14
Ghost Rider's
and
cool.
listening to
Yeah.
Metallica and stuff, like, yeah, Ghost Rider was right in that wheelhouse.
I
for sure.
love the idea of Ghost Rider. You're right.
Yes.
But yeah, they can't get it right.
Right.
So
They can't
that-
get it
that's
right.
what sucks.
No. But yeah, that book. He's at number 2 for me because that was like my introduction, and that's what sealed the deal. I was just like, I'm gonna read comics for the rest of my life, and this is why.
Right?
Yeah. And I remember specifically, it was Mark Teixeira was doing the art. I don't know who was writing it, but it was a team up between Spider-Man, Punisher, and Ghost Rider, and they were fighting Demon Hobgoblin.
Nice.
And I was just like, this is amazing.
Nice. Yeah, he was a part of that. I when I was a kid, I read a lot of Punisher, and yeah, the Punisher,
Yeah.
Daredevil, Spider-Man, like he was a part of that kind of crossover New York City crew
Yep.
for sure.
I mean, a flaming skull
Right.
on a motorcycle.
Right.
The wheels made of fire.
Totally.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
I can see somebody pitching that at the table and Marvel just being like, what are you saying right to me right now? But they allowed it. They were like, all right, yeah, sounds great.
Did you watch the Shield stuff this year?
I didn't.
No, I didn't either.
But
It's a car,
they
right?
switched to a car. Yeah.
It's like,
No.
you lose me as soon as you say that. I don't even want
Why
to
the
check it
fuck
out.
would you have a car?
Right.
Like,
I
who
just
was
picture-
like, we should make him have a Ghost Rider car?
You know what? You know
That'll
what,
make
too,
him more
Nate?
badass.
To capitalize on that, I feel like he listens to dubstep in that car.
Probably does.
You know, like
He
awful shit.
I
You know,
bet he does.
ow. It's just like everything I hate.
You're so
about
right.
that.
Yeah, you're so right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Nope. Not
Yeah,
a
but
club.
I hear ya.
Dubstep-
Don't fault you
Dubstep
one-
can be all right with like if you got enough bass, it's not too bad.
I just want Ghost
last
Rider
week
listening
you were
to metal.
defending Juggalos. This week you're defending dubstep. Now
That's right.
I've lost
Get over
lost
it.
a lot of respect for you. Yeah, the past 2 weeks.
Jugstep.
Dubstep is decent.
Jugstep.
That's funny.
Combine the
Jug-
100%,
100%.
100%,
Jugstep.
100% joking. You're my bro. What up?
Oh, I'm totally making that happen. Jugstep remix.
Jugstep. All right.
ICP mixed with dubstep. That's the new hit.
That is not the new hit.
That's the new hit.
That's not.
Yeah.
That's not. Corey.
Ghost Rider with Juggalo
Fuck a
paint.
chicken eye. Bwah, 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 bwah.
Corey.
Like, that'd be sick.
You're number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four.
Really? Wow. I'm surprised.
That's a shocker,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I love the Fantastic Four.
What is that? Did they get you in the comics, or how far back does that go?
Yeah, in the comics is when they got me at when I started reading, like when I really, you guys have read way before I did, but like the first time I got seriously into comics was like 7-8 years ago, and Fantastic Four was awesome. I love the family. They're
Right.
a family of superheroes, and
I like Franklin Richards.
I mean, yeah, Franklin's awesome, and the whole. I don't know. I just there's no other really families.
You're right.
It's true.
Me and Nate and I come from an awesome family. That
We do. Shout out
Spoiler
to the
alert.
fam.
yeah,
We love you.
We have an awesome family, and they haven't. Their family is so awesome, and even they got the Human Torch and
He's an Inhuman now.
And the Thing. No, he's not an Inhuman. He just
Oh, he's
just
with
He just
them.
hangs with them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
bangs one of them.
Right.
He fucks Medusa. Lucky guy. But, but the Fantastic Four. I mean, they are some of the most the strongest super. Reed Richards is, on level with Doctor Doom and
Right.
and Tony Stark, and one of the smartest people in the Marvel universe.
It's a shame.
And Doctor
It's,
Doom. They got Doctor Doom.
Those scenes when it's Tony and Bruce, it's a shame that Reed's not there with them, right?
Yeah, Reed
It should be the
there.
three of them hanging out. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, he's one of the smartest minds in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
He has the best supporting wife, Susan Richards, and Invisible Woman. She's awesome. Her brother Johnny.
Her power's underrated, right? Her power's underrated. Right?
Yeah, because she can make those force fields too. She's very good.
She can
And,
move. How much does that extend? That like she can move stuff with that, right? That thing works as like an extension.
That's why they call it the Force.
Oh, nice. Give her a lightsaber.
But the Human Torch and the Thing, and then now they brought the children into it. I mean, it's great. I love everything about them, and it's a shame that there's not a Fantastic Four book right now.
You need to write
makes
that
me
movie.
sad.
Yeah.
Like,
Write it, Corey. Write that
Yeah.
shit.
I don't care about the movie. Give me a book at least.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
Right.
It's not.
No, it's a shame. It's a flagship, and even if you don't like them, fucking keep that book going. It's a flagship book.
I mean, they are the #1 superhero family, and they are the best family. I mean, they're super tight, even though they have their differences and stuff. Like, they're so good, and it's just I really love the Fantastic
Flame
Four.
on!
And,
So-
yeah.
You didn't even watch the new movie yet, have you?
No, I heard
The
it was
most recent
awful.
one? Okay, yeah. I'd like to talk about
Yeah.
it sometime, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So number ones, we're to the number one round. Have you guys?
Yes.
Corey's number one was picked. Was yours?
Yeah, Hulk.
Oh, Hulk and Spidey. So mine's the only number one that hasn't
Yeah.
been picked.
So, Corey, can you guess it? Can you guess it without any clues?
You're #1.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Superman.
It's definitely not Superman.
That's it.
Yeah, Corey's right about that. I'll give you a hint because you didn't just immediately guess it. It's a team.
Oh wait.
It's a team.
You have a shirt about them.
The Guardians.
No.
Oh, okay. The Watchmen.
The Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Yeah. The
I thought
Watchmen's my
about putting
favorite book of
Rorschach.
all time.
Rorschach
Yeah.
was on my list.
Yeah.
I should have guessed that because you didn't pick an individual up until now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, if I would have
I-
picked an individual, it would have been Rorschach for sure.
Yeah.
The story of the Watchmen is his story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It is.
Right.
And we've talked about brutal superheroes so far. He is the brutalist.
Yeah.
You know what he does to people in that book is fucking way worse than what Wolverine's done, or who else did we talk about that was brutal? You know
Oh,
what I mean?
absolutely.
The stuff that he did was
Nasty.
I love Ozymandias as a villain.
Yep, me too.
Love
Yep,
him.
yep.
Love him.
Totally fleshed out. So yeah, it's like I say, hands over fist. The Watchmen is my favorite thing in comics, and nothing's changed that yet in recent times. And so yeah, that's my
So
number
is
one. for
so
sure.
is Rorschach your #1, or is
no
the whole
Watchmen,
team?
The team.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not.
Gotta have
my
Owl.
number 10 talked about the Defenders. The Defenders does the same thing in a like the Watchmen's
who
here,
was
the
your number
Defenders
10?
here.
Who was your number 10?
The Defenders. So just
Who
talking
was your
about
number 9?
TMNT.
Who was number 8?
Wolverine.
You like Rorschach better than okay.
No, but I like the Watchmen better
Yeah.
than all of them, and
Right.
just given that human element to superheroes, and what the
Yes.
Watchmen book did for that changed everything. And it's so funny. It still cracks me up that Alan Moore tried to do it with the Minutemen, and Marvel said no, you're too crazy.
We're not going to let you do this with our characters. So he had to invent his own characters that were like their weird kids afterwards.
All right.
What the stuff that the comedian did, and then, you know, trying to set him up as the initial villain, and then versus the fact that Amadeus
Oh, well,
is...
the book.
Spoilers.
Okay. I think there needs to be some clarification between the book itself and the team. I mean, the book is probably, if not the greatest, then in the top 3 greatest graphic novels ever written.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
think it's the greatest by far, and to me, that's the team. Like, anything else besides the main book, the Watchmen book, is not what I'm talking about. That's
Right,
what I'm talking about.
right.
You know what I mean? It's that team and their story.
yeah, and all the subtext in there, and all the. It's like
There's nothing else like that.
Work. Right.
Yeah, I start putting the Batman stuff in second afterwards, but there's nothing else.
How do you feel about the movie?
I love the movie too.
Did either of you guys have Batman?
Yeah. Yeah, mine was
No,
before.
We just skipped him over because I talked about him.
Yep,
Did
mine
I?
was
No,
four.
I didn't have them. I didn't have
Dirk
a
didn't have
Batman
them, I
or
did.
Spider-Man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that
Can't
is
believe
crazy. You know what's
I don't know
cool?
what's happening.
You know what's cool is none of us had Superman. I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
'Cause
No.
Superman sucks.
He's OP,
Yeah, way too OP.
and he's not
Look.
cocky at all.
People have done great things with, like, Grant Morrison doing Superman was amazing. That's the only version of Superman that I've ever liked, was
Right.
his take on it. That all-star Superman. But that's it.
Yeah.
Because nobody else presents him as, and I know he's an alien, but I mean, like, he's not humanized in a way that people can relate to.
Right.
Yeah.
That book humanizes him in a weird. It actually shows him as an alien, what he is,
Right.
and that he can't
It
ever
alienizes him.
connect. Yeah,
Right.
he can't ever connect to humanity because he's not.
Right.
He's too powerful to connect to humanity.
Yeah, I don't know how much we have talked about this on the show, but I'm 100% for the alien Jesus. I'm 100% against the Jesus Superman.
Right?
The alien Superman, not the alien Jesus.
What?
No,
Wait.
alien Jesus.
Alien
Alien
Jesus.
Jesus.
I was thinking
haven't
about
heard
ET
it.
for some reason.
I mean, I can get behind that if you show me some talk.
Dude, no,
Oh my god.
there's all these parallels in ET.
Jesus
right?
was
That's
an
what made me
alien?
think of.
There is. Okay. Jesus was.
ET was
Was in
Jesus.
Star Wars. He's not Jesus. He's not in the Jesus universe. I'm all
What's-
about the alien.
ET has the glowing
Superman,
heart, though, and he came
not
back
the
from the
Jesus
dead.
Superman. There we go. That's our list.
All right.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
We did it.
Wow. So our top 3 is what?
Go top 3.
I mean, top.
Nate, tell
what's
you
our
though.
top number ones? We have
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Yep.
Corey, your number 1 is
Spidey.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and
yours
Hulk.
is Hulk.
That's
Yeah.
a good. It's a good.
It's good number 3. Top
Yeah.
3.
For sure.
We could do some damage.
For sure. Definitely. All right. So wrapping the show up, we're gonna switch gears 180 degrees. We're gonna talk about some Dungeons and Dragons. We're gonna talk about the Labyrinth Lifers. So
Lifers.
yeah, we wanna FYI, we wanna come at this conversation. So I know it seems to me, and I could be wrong, but where we're at in our channel's career right now,
In the
It
annals
seems-
of our
in
careers.
the annals of our career, it seems that most people who really actually enjoy this and want to talk with us about it watch pretty much everything that we put up, and they're commenting
Really?
on our videos across the board. They're watching the
They
comic
watch
stuff,
our
they're
game?
watching the Labyrinth Lifers, and they're watching
Wow.
Comically
Watch the
Gaming.
Lifers.
And so
That's amazing.
you know, I kind of wanted to tee this up as just a quick conversation for people who. I feel like the Labyrinth Lifers, if you don't know, if this is the first time you've ever watched us, we do another show called the Labyrinth Lifers. It's a Dungeons and Dragons game that Dirk DMs. Me and Corey had never played Dungeons and Dragons. We got some people who played before, some people that haven't, and we're just going
Yep.
through our first adventure.
We lucked into a great DM.
We did look into a great DM, yes.
An
absolutely.
obsessive deal. That's all it is.
Yep, and so I just wanted to have a conversation on Comically Gaming
in terms of like as if people do watch Comically Gaming have never watched Labyrinth Lifers before. I say we do some story spoilers, but we do it at the very end, like we do it in all of our shows, so that people can check out if they actually want to watch the Labyrinth Lifers and then come back. You know what I mean,
Right.
sort of thing. But mainly I just wanted to talk about this in terms of like people who watch the show don't watch the Labyrinth Lifers at all.
Yeah.
And just wanted to point out to everybody, like, I'm 40 years old. This has been my first experience ever playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm 29. I'm not that old. So.
so just wanted to, kind of tee it up. My entire life have known about Dungeons and Dragons, have just never had the right crew to hang out with and play it. And, always wanted to check it out.
I feel like we did. We just didn't ask people. Like,
you think?
Or maybe. No, actually, I feel like I didn't.
Maybe Dungeons and Dragons is just bigger now than it ever was.
No, I think the show is what brought it out, to be honest. Like, before we did the show, none of my friends would want to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
But then I simultaneously found another group to play it with once we started playing.
Yeah, that is weird. Spooky.
Spooky. That is spooky.
I'm dying to play.
Yeah, so I just want to.
Let's do a little mini game right now.
No, I mean I want to play in a part. Like I want to be in the party.
Right.
I know.
I'm gonna try and make that happen for you. If nobody else does, I will step up to that plate sooner or later. It's gonna take me a little bit of time. Once I don't know. Like,
we'll
once I get back from vacation,
we'll have to start with a pre-written campaign, right? Yeah.
Be prepared because it's a lot.
I feel like I should. I also feel like if I'm 100% honest, and maybe this is weird or whatever, but I want to almost do a Star Wars version also, just because I'm a big fat Star Wars nerd too. Mix that into there.
Are you going to create all new character classes and powers?
You know what you could do, Nate?
That already exists. It's just different. Whatever the Dungeon Master's Guide is totally different. It's not D&D 5th edition.
You should
it's
pick
some
like
weird thing.
That's close. So D&D used to have a space adventure, a space opera campaign called Spelljammer that they did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's in.
Like I said, once I get back from vacation, I'm going to look into what I really want to do. I think
Planescape.
Worst case, I would just do. If I can't find what I really want to do, I want to find the. What's the main Forgotten Realms? Just generic thing for my first time.
Dirk, you DM the next one. I feel like we just got into the groove.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I feel like to be honest, if nobody else volunteers to DM, I feel like I'll be doing like the 4th or 5th one. You know what I mean? But
I would say just pick another campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, eventually.
I would love. The rumor, what I've heard is that they're going to be doing all their campaigns over. So we're going to get like Dragonlance, we're going to get Greyhawk, and they're all different.
Right.
So you can just pick one to DM, and do it. But no, I want to get you guys to like at least level 10 before I take a,
I want to get to level 20. I want to wreck some shit.
Yeah. Level 20, I've never DM'd that high. I'm really curious to see, like,
that's when the most powerful magic comes out, right?
Yes.
That's when I can really
those last 3 levels, 17 to 20, is amazing.
So.
Yeah.
Before I started playing with you, I got this like the Christmas before.
Yeah.
And it comes with like a preset mission story, and so I think I might just do that just to get the hang of it and get used to using level 20 from your side or whatever, and then move on to something more hardcore. But
I want to play a monk.
Yep. But and me and Corey, so we've been we talked about this before, but we've been playing this game. We've been recording videos all friggin' day long.
Yeah.
It's not a game.
It's not a game, that's for sure. But we were talking about earlier about how when we did our top 10 RPG lists, it's cool how Dungeons and Dragons is the backbone.
Show that again.
Yeah.
Show that. Bust it out. It's cool.
That
Look it up.
and that.
Oh, they'll flipped from number 1 to 0.
Oh, that. Oh. Yeah. So if you
So
didn't watch
Game
last week-
Informer's top 10.
yeah, Game Informer's
Top 10 RPGs?
It's top 100 role-playing games. So you
Oh,
go from
God.
like Chrono Trigger
Where's
number
Vampire on there?
Chrono Trigger, number 1.
3, number 3, Final Fantasy 6, number 2, or Skyrim, number
Uh-huh.
1,
Ah,
and then
Number 0.
right.
0 is Dungeons
True.
and Dragons because every
It's a
game on
backbone.
this 100 list is the backbone.
It's like the
yeah.
Bible of
Yeah.
role-playing games, and it's set up
Yes.
so much stuff. I mean, Gary Gygax is
Set
a
up
legend.
everything.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's a book on Gary Gygax out right now. I'd love to read that, but
Totally. So yeah, I don't know.
So-
Like, I just wanted to say, like, to me, before starting to play, what we did in what I'm going to call season 1 of the Labyrinth Lifers, which is our first main adventure, was, to me, it was 100% the best case scenario for what D&D would be like. And one
Right.
of the things that I would
Well,
say
it
from-
helps that Thana was a fucking badass.
my character
always.
was a badass. That did help. I would say that at the beginning, I was 100% into the mind frame of I want to level my guy up. I want to level him up. I want to level him up. Like I'm looking at the player's handbook at the stuff that's waiting.
And then you learn to
for me.
appreciate the bread that was cooked for you. And
Right, and then
Right.
that's exactly where I'm going. Is that it's the more that I played it, the more I actually enjoyed the just like hanging out around town and role playing a game where like I go from store to store instead of like fighting to level up my dude and stuff. So
you got real tight
It's
with
cool.
that baker, man.
the
I
big
did.
the selling point is when you have to start doing like detective work and figuring stuff out. That to me draws everybody in. And if you get beyond that, it's getting into that the nuances of your character, the little things that define your character that you made, and
Yeah.
then you inexplicably start getting attached to your little guy that you made. You know,
totally.
to the point where like if they die, you're gonna like feel kind of bad.
I would totally feel bad if Thanon died.
Yeah.
For sure.
Man,
So Corey,
I used to.
what do you
yeah.
got? What's your thoughts? Season 1. You've been playing another game too. Like bring like what's up with all that?
Yeah, you can
Season
compare
1.
and contrast.
Aramel just died in my last campaign.
Did he?
So did my whole party. We all died.
What killed you?
And we merged these stones that we were looking for, and so the whole campaign we were looking for these stones, and that we're gonna kill the whole elven race or anyone with elven blood, and then we found them, and then one of our party members kept touching them, and it kept like burning parts of his hands off and like really killing him. But
I
then
see
it turned,
Mirla doing that.
but then-
Merla. Exactly.
and then it turned him in. The stone started talking to him, but we couldn't hear it. Only he could. And then they started telling him to merge the stones together, and he should have resisted. And then he convinced. We had one orc in our party who was chaotic evil, and he was totally down to merge the stones. And I was
had a
trying.
chaotic evil.
Yeah, I
orc
was.
in your party. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was trying to prevent it, and it got intense. The orc ended up knocking out one of our party members. One of our party members came up behind one of our other party members, the druid in our group, and knocked her out. And
Yeah.
and
It doesn't make
stole
any
stuff.
sense. That's why I don't allow evil
Because
characters.
he's evil.
Yeah, you're not
He's
gonna
evil.
be hanging out with a bunch of good or neutral characters.
And he knocked her out, and they stole the stone and merged them, and then they killed us all. It killed everyone
Ridiculous.
within a 200-mile radius.
You know, Stalin was lawful evil. I had to make him change that.
Yeah.
So,
I was like, dude, you can't do that. Because that means you're going to try to backstab somebody in their sleep.
At some point, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, totally.
but the thing is, the whole reason they did that and they merged the stones is because the story got boring. It never got boring in ours.
It's
in
not
our
going to be
game.
boring for a long time.
So, like, they were like,
Dude.
let's just join these stones and see what happens, because we're bored.
Funny.
And that's not the case here.
I've
so.
got some pieces that are original like you said, homebrew stuff, you know. But yeah, I mean, I've got like there's so many adventures to choose from, and I don't mind going back all the way to 2E and just converting it just to get a
Right.
good story,
Right.
you know.
Totally. So you guys want to move on to spoilers?
Yeah.
All right. Corey, you good?
Yep.
All right. So let's we're gonna move on to spoilers for the Labyrinth Lifers season 1, which is we've got if you don't know, we've got 9
Go watch
episodes on the internet of our
Get
first
on that.
adventure. Yeah, if you never played D&D,
Watch
if you're
it.
curious,
Watch
like me
it.
and
You'll
Corey
be
were,
enthralled.
or
the
if
whole
you've
time.
played D&D and you want to see what a fun story is like because you had a bad experience, or whatever. If you're super into D&D and you can't get enough D&D, you just want to watch more D&D, go check it out. It's Labyrinth Lifers. We got season 1 is online for you to check out.
Nice.
Season 2 coming soon.
Absolutely.
So
3
we'll
weeks.
go full spoilers in 3, 2. Corey's gonna
One.
strap part of his beer. 1.
Hold on, cut that.
No, too late. So
Well, if the
So let's
court
go-
watches this, I'm fucked.
let's.
Full spoilers. I knew it was going to be a good group and a good campaign after Jeff fireballed y'all on the raft. I think that was was like-
Was that the first episode?
yes, that was the first
Right.
episode.
That shit was so stupid.
It was incredibly stupid. But when I thought about it, and the reason that I allowed it to go through was that he's a first level cleric. He might have made that mistake. He wasn't checking to see if somebody's in his way. He wasn't thinking about being on a raft. You know, it was amazing. It set everything up after that.
Yeah.
Truth be told,
Absolutely.
you know, Tannen might accept them now that they've been through this much
Right.
up to this point. And
I might accept him too.
I feel
Yeah.
like to be honest,
He's been real conscious of what he's done with his fire since then.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has been right. So
He
that was his
acknowledged
big
that he messed
mistake,
up.
and yeah,
Right.
ever since then he's been super careful. And I also, to be honest, I was surprised to hear that Josh had never played before, because I feel like he roleplayed
Josh is
Mirla's
very
character.
good.
Yeah,
Very
Listen.
good.
yeah,
I don't know if y'all realize how hard Chaotic Neutral is to play,
right.
because I have never seen anybody play it as well as
Well,
Josh is.
yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's amazing.
Because
it
no,
feels
that's
like he's a pro.
that is exactly what Chaotic Neutral characters do. They're
Yeah.
unpredictable, and they don't always go with the flow of the party. I mean,
Right.
they do things that
hitting
are
the
sort of
bomb half the time.
inexplicably. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
He's got
So-
hands hanging off of him. You know.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Pete. So me and Pete work together, and Pete. I think you, Jeff, and Pete are the people who I can just tell have played D&D before, and
Yeah.
and I think it was after week 1 where Pete was like, he came up to me at work and was like, "Man," he goes, "Josh is role playing that character perfect." I think like he was totally brought that up before I even had even thought about it. You know what I mean? And
It's like at the point where I might want to start hitting on Merla. Is that going to be weird?
No, I mean that's totally legit. You know, I don't know how I'm gonna DM it, but I mean, just go for it,
I mean,
You
she's a
roll
badass bitch.
dude. She is. Listen, next to Thanon, she might be the second most powerful.
Right.
You know that her dex is a 20,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that means that with her proficiency bonus, she has a +7 to ranged weapons.
Yeah. That's what me
Yeah.
and Pete
You know
were
how
talking
insane
about
that is?
Yeah, she basically
beat the boss by herself. Right? I don't
Yeah.
know if anybody else put a
She
hit
got-
on her. I think
yeah,
I
she-
tried and missed.
She landed some big hits on
Yeah.
Marcel. Yeah. The other thing is, what's funny though, is that, and he plays this also correctly. Her charisma is like a 6.
Right. Right. So,
So
yeah,
so,
that doesn't matter.
yeah,
who
he
she's
does
talking
well
to,
at
she
playing
fucks that
that.
conversation up.
yeah, she will come in and they will always be averse to her, no matter what she says. So
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
but
Yeah,
you guys
no,
are
I'm
coming up
jealous.
on.
I can't role play as well as him. I'm bad at it.
No,
Yeah.
it's dude,
I
it's
think you've been
hard.
fine.
That's because
Yeah.
it's hard. I mean, listen, the game that I came from before this one, I played with all vets, right? No newbies. We've been playing since high school, and those guys still get lost and don't like their characters end up being them.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's so hard to do.
Yeah.
So Josh, yeah, I mean, you almost need to give him an award for that because it's. I've given him XP just based on the role playing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
He
for sure.
deserves
You
it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
She
So-
deserves it.
she deserves it.
So,
So look, yeah, you can totally get XP from serious role playing. You getting that pie, Nate?
right.
Role playing points.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Oh yeah.
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 Dan eating
that
that
was my-
pie. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
man.
that was my only
It's really
thing
great.
is like one of my key traits on my character sheet is that food and ale is a serious distraction.
Right.
So that's the one
That's
thing
a-
that I try and key in on myself.
That's a
but then-
dwarf, you know?
Right. But
That's
I,
what
but I
dwarves-
do feel like it's easy. You know what I mean? Like wherever there's an inn or any place that serves food, I can just knock that out.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I
you're
mean?
jolly about it. You're good. You do.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
play it well.
And it's the
Right.
fact that you initiated it. I mean, obviously,
Right.
you're not going to get XP every time you go get a pie.
Of course.
But-
right.
But that first one off the bat, I was telling Corey earlier, you guys came so close to being fucked in that last battle.
I felt
Yeah.
like it.
I did not plan that.
I said
either.
we all felt like that.
Yeah.
That was-
Yes, I
that
did
was
not
nice.
plan when
Man,
Luke was coming in. Luke came in. It says it,
set number of turns.
on my paperwork. Comes in 6th round.
Right.
So if y'all had gone one more round, chances
Yeah.
are, people
Yeah,
would
the
have started
point-
dying.
When I think Stolid was unconscious and who's Pete's?
Yeah, solid.
No, who's Jeff's character?
Jan.
Jan.
Oh,
yeah.
Jan Stina.
There was
Yeah.
there was one turn where both of them were knocked out, and I was
Yep.
like, okay, we're done. You know what I mean? We're not
Well,
gonna.
Stolid
make it
was
through this,
puking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Stolid was puking. Jan was out. You were out. I
Yep,
think
and then-
Yarwin was
Yeah,
keeping
Yarwin
it in
came
for a
through.
while.
Yarwin healed
Yeah.
me that
Right.
very next turn, and that was what turned it all around. Yeah.
Really, Luke saved y'all, man.
Luke did.
Yeah,
save
look.
us, yes, but it was
Luke
us
came
saving
in-
ourselves until he
Luke's
did,
true.
our boy.
right?
Yeah. Luke came in spouting that shit,
I
and
love
they all
Luke.
froze. I know.
He did not
We're
make
trying
it
to get
through
him to y'all.
Did Luke make it through the fog transformation at the end? I
Yeah,
don't think
he's
he
not
did.
with y'all,
Yeah,
no.
he's not. Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like I'm gonna go back and get him, take him to his house, show him around.
I know,
and
because y'all
stuff.
barely know him. He just started coming
Yeah.
to, like,
Yeah.
right at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
So how
Is
do
he
y'all?
bad?
I mean, no, I mean that he was
He was
he was in
disappeared.
that. Yeah, he was in that inn when the four shadows walked in.
Right.
The four shadows.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, Corey. I mean, that's around like your whole family. From what you know.
Yeah. Yeah. for
Yup.
sure. I need to rewatch.
You have a sworn enemy now,
Yep. Exactly.
like legit tiefling. So how was? I mean, what? How did you enjoy the experience? And what was it like versus what you thought it would be like?
Well, like I said, it was best case scenario in my opinion. Like it was, of course, the first like 3 times we played were a little bit awkward and trying to figure out rules and stuff versus really
Yeah.
role playing. You know what I mean? But yeah, once we got going in playing over the internet as opposed to actually being able to sit there face to face and do this, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it went as smooth as it possibly could
Yeah.
have. Over
I feel
like
I feel like it's super comfortable now.
yeah, I do too. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
good.
Everybody
I'm ready.
locks in.
I'm ready for everybody to join up. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody locks in, ready to go.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'm still even, if I'm honest, a little bit mystified on what you do. Like, are you designing entire things that we don't see? You know what I mean? Because of choices that we make, or are you steering us more than I think you are? You know what I
There's
mean?
some
With what happens
steering,
in the story,
but
like
there's some steering. There's some random encounters. Uh, y-
so are you following
yeah,
a book, Dirk? Or,
I'm split between a book and original material.
so. For
okay.
example, because we're into full spoilers section,
Yeah.
when the storm came through and there's a pile of undead in front of us,
Hmm.
was your intention for us to fight through them and then maybe see something new? Like, what
No,
would have happened if we would have just fought them
you
as
actually
opposed to
did the.
retreat to the
you
cemetery?
you would have. I mean, you would have been. You did the smart thing by not fighting them. I'll put it
Right,
that way.
right,
Because you probably would have handled them fairly easy, but just taking off that little bit of HP
right,
that you would have taken off and
right.
not being able to get sleep and then having to go to the cemetery because you
anyways,
wouldn't have
right?
made it back to the inn.
Right.
I
So
mean,
what would have happened? Like, I mean, how was the story written if that was our choice to stand and fight
if you
those
had
guys?
gone
Like,
through there, I don't remember totally, but I think Brucian would have gotten involved and got you to the cemetery.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he
Gotcha.
was like waiting, But also, you guys went to the old cemetery way early.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Like jumped, you cut out like a
Yeah,
a
you
whole
tried
trap.
to stop us, but we scaled that
Well,
wall.
no, I couldn't. I mean, and the
Yeah.
thing is, there's clauses in effect, like in place for if somebody gets somewhere too early, But I also knew that y'all weren't going to be able to avoid sleep in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have had to. You wouldn't have been able to sleep in there. It
Get a
just
full
wasn't.
night's sleep. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and y'all needed to recoup. So there was always going to be something there that guided you back to the inn to get your sleep and then come back
Sure. That makes
to
sense.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah. That makes
it's a
sense.
good little first level adventure. But
It's
what's
really
coming
good.
up on the horizon is incredible. It's a whole different level of. If you thought there was like detail in this one, this is what's coming up is way more detailed and bigger, and probably going to be smoother than this last one
Yeah.
because
well,
I don't have to do conversion. This is 5e material.
it'll also be smoother just from us being more
Yeah.
familiar with the game and whatnot.
Right.
The so when is it also, I don't know, maybe you don't even want to answer this to me and Corey, but is it also Ravenloft? Is that the book that you keep showing us? Is that the current
Yeah.
the 5e Ravenloft book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's. I'm not going to say where exactly in it, but yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's good enough. We didn't transport back home to where we were at
No.
the tavern to begin with. Right. Right.
I felt like
No.
that was clear.
But I hope somebody was taking notes on that whole sequence because this stuff, I'm not going to like. There might be stuff that you see or that happens to you right now that you might not see for 6 or 7 sessions down.
Yeah. Totally.
Those dreams that happen are connected to, what happened
Definitely.
last time,
First
connected to
session.
something.
Yeah, that's if I'm 100% honest with you, Dirk, like it's my thought when we make these shows about the Labyrinth Lifers is like
Yeah.
I just want to record it just to be able to go back and watch it, and then
Right.
the stuff that I put on the internet that you fed us in between them and whatnot, that's for us.
Yeah.
If somebody else is enough of a nerd to want to get into the story and
Right.
follow all that stuff and watch all the shows, then awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have a part of our adventure because you don't have people that you can do it with. But
Yeah.
to me, it's all about.
I was surprised that people watch it. I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
right.
that.
Yep, absolutely. But again, to me, it's first and foremost just to kind of record the experience. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And whether it's and for my own
Documentation.
personal, what
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like
use or
having a
whatever.
journal log.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
you get a group like this together where you only touch base every other week or whatnot.
Mhm.
You'll forget
You need
this
it.
or that.
You'll forget
yeah.
details, right?
Right, exactly.
In fact, I use it just to go back. I start at like 5 minutes left in
Sure.
the adventure. That's how I always
The
go
week
back
before
and
or
do my
whatever,
recap.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
'Cause
So
I pretty much have everything else, but
Yep. So definitely appreciate the fact that people are watching the show, but and I hope to be honest, again, it's all about. I'm 40. I never played this, and me and Corey has done it before. To be honest, I'm like mad that I never played D&D until I was 40. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I
Well, no.
seriously went through
I
40
mean,
years of my life
imagine-
without doing something that I really super enjoy a lot. And it was
dude, you can
available to me.
imagine like being 14 and doing this,
right. Yep.
which is what I was doing. 14 through 20. I
Yep.
played from age 14 to age 20, and pretty much with the same group.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, we started having like marathon where we'd show up at somebody's house Friday night and basically go all the
till
way
Sunday,
to
huh?
Sunday. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
you can
Yeah.
get through some campaigns.
Yeah, and to be totally honest with you, like I'm super fired up that Amy's into it also, and that I feel like once we get the hang of it, we'll be able to do
Yeah.
this with our kids and their buddies or
Oh, yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? Like we'll be
Yeah,
the,
because it's
Count
not.
me in.
the crazy
Yeah.
nerdy parents, doing this stuff.
What's great about it
I
is
want to be part of a campaign.
it's pretty much the ultimate in open world gaming. I mean,
Right.
the idea of open world gaming, like having a world that you can explore, that comes back to D&D.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because-
100%.
For sure.
And I think what should be a universal truth is that it's a million times cooler in your imagination than it is
Yeah.
on a TV screen.
Right.
Right? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's why it trumps
Dude.
everything that's come after it, right?
Wait till I send you. I'm sending you the pictures. You probably won't get them until you get back. But I'm
Right.
sending you the pictures of the Four of Shadows. Wait till you see them. You might not have had a good idea when they walked in, but when you see these photos, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
That is some supervillain shit.
Totally.
Like set up.
Totally.
That's
All right.
great. I'm glad that it kicked off as well as it did, and I'm excited for you guys to hopefully stay alive.
Yeah.
And enjoy the
Right.
fruits of upper level activity because it's so hard to get there. You see
Right.
how easy it is to die.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
We almost started close.
And
All right.
I really didn't aid you that much. I aided Pete in that last session, but that's it. Everything else, you guys handled it on your own.
I got some lucky rolls. I feel like 3 or 4 episodes in a row I just crushed on my rolls.
Yeah,
You did.
Yeah.
dude. But also, you guys have great scores, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
Totally.
set it up that way because I wanted y'all to get through these levels without having to worry so much about dying. Because a lot of people, they play with like 13s and 14s.
Right.
And they're lucky if they have a 16. It
Yeah,
makes it
totally.
much harder. But I put it
Right.
at that level for a reason. Because I wanted y'all to enjoy it and not worry about, well, fuck, I'm dead, and keep dying over and over again. And it sucks.
Yeah. Right.
For
Totally.
sure.
Sweet.
All right. That's it.
That's it.
That's
we
it.
Got, that's so, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching episode 56, Comically Gaming.
56.
We hope you've enjoyed it. We're some big fat nerds that like to sit around and talk about all this nerdy crap that we really enjoy.
Can't get enough of. So thank you for enjoying it with us. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week when I return from the other side of the ocean.
Yes.
Tell you how awesome the weather was. The weather was so
Different man.
perfect.
A changed man.
Yeah, the whole
It's probably
time.
going to be terrible.
The whole time I was there. And yeah, we'll talk about E3. We'll go through all the E3 footage. That'll be the big episode
Awesome.
57 will be the post E3 show.
Oh.
2 weeks late.
Everybody's golf.
Everybody's golf. That's what it'll be about. Everybody's golf. And what did you say, Corey? Metroid? This
That's
year?
Metroid
What else
Prime.
was it?
Or
There's
Metroid,
something else. Last of Us. When's
Switch.
the Last of Us
Last
come
of
out?
Us 2, November 11th.
November 11th. I'm all fired up for November 11th. 11th, 2017 for
Yeah.
The Last of Us 2.
Gonna be hype.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good week.